The parable of the prodigal son, a timeless and deeply resonant story from the Christian Bible, is a parable told by Jesus in the Gospel of Luke. It describes a young man who, after squandering his inheritance on reckless living, experiences profound regret and returns home, expecting rejection but instead receives a warm embrace from his forgiving father. This narrative is a poignant exploration of themes such as repentance, forgiveness, and unconditional love, concepts central to understanding the human condition in our relationships with ourselves and others. The significance of introducing the parable of the prodigal son lies in its powerful illustration of redemption and grace. It underscores the idea that no matter how far one strays or how terribly one errs, there is always the possibility for reconciliation and redemption. Within the broader discourse on human relationships and personal growth, it serves as a timeless reminder of the power of forgiveness and the human capacity for change. Real-world applications abound. Consider a person who has made serious mistakes in their personal life, perhaps falling into addiction or making choices that alienate them from loved ones. Like the prodigal son, the individual's journey back to familial or social acceptance hinges on acknowledgement, repentance, and the courage to seek forgiveness. Similarly, organizations or communities that have wronged individuals can apply these principles by creating spaces where forgiveness is possible, allowing for reconstruction of trust and renewal of commitment. Many scholars and theologians have lauded the parable's portrayal of a forgiving, loving figure as revolutionary in its simplicity and depth, seeing it as a reflection of divine grace. This perspective supports the notion that forgiveness should be a guiding principle in daily interactions, encouraging people to look beyond transgressions and focus on personal growth and connection. However, not all interpretations are without contention. Some argue the parable might unintentionally encourage irresponsible behavior by suggesting that any wrong can be easily forgiven. Others question whether unconditional forgiveness is always appropriate, particularly in cases where individuals repeatedly violate trust or cause harm. The introduction of this parable profoundly influences discussions on personal transformation and moral responsibility. It invites reflection on our innate potential for change and the requisite humility to seek forgiveness. By examining this parable, we can better appreciate its enduring relevance, understanding it as a mirror reflecting our potential for compassion and a catalyst for deep-seated change in our lives and relationships. The heading, "The Power of Forgiveness," within the context of the profound lessons from the prodigal son, delves into the core theme of the biblical parable, which illustrates the deep, transformative effect of forgiveness. Forgiveness, in this context, is the act of granting pardon or clemency, especially for offenses or mistakes, and is depicted powerfully through the father's acceptance of his wayward son. The significance of forgiveness in the parable underlines the notion of unconditional love and redemption. It's a pivotal moment that resonates across various aspects of personal and social relationships, emphasizing the healing and liberating power it holds. In the real world, forgiveness plays a crucial role in mending relationships and promoting personal well-being. One example can be found in counseling settings, where forgiving someone who has hurt you can lead to improved mental health and emotional stability. Holding on to resentment often leads to stress and anxiety, whereas letting go can bring about a sense of peace and closure. Another example is in the realm of restorative justice programs, where offenders are given opportunities to make amends with their victims, often leading to transformative healing processes for both parties involved. These scenarios highlight how forgiveness extends beyond personal relief and contributes to societal harmony. Support for the power of forgiveness can be found in various psychological studies and religious teachings that extol its virtues, suggesting that forgiving someone can lead to significant psychological benefits and foster a more compassionate community. However, forgiveness is not without its challenges and controversies. Critics argue that it might enable further wrongdoing if perceived as condoning harmful actions, or that it places undue burden on victims to move past their grievances without receiving justice. The discussion on forgiveness connects seamlessly with other lessons from the prodigal son, such as repentance and reconciliation. The son's return is marked by acknowledgement of his mistakes, and the father's forgiveness paves the way for a restored relationship. This interplay demonstrates that forgiveness is not isolated, but part of a broader narrative of redemption and renewal. By understanding and embracing forgiveness, individuals are encouraged to reflect on their capacity for empathy and personal growth, thus enriching their own moral and ethical frameworks. Ultimately, the power of forgiveness, as illustrated in the parable, challenges us to envision a world where mercy triumphs over judgment, fostering a cycle of compassion and understanding. Understanding the key characters and their roles in the parable of the prodigal son is crucial to unlocking the profound lessons embedded within this timeless biblical narrative. The parable features three primary characters: the prodigal son, the father, and the elder brother. Each character symbolizes different aspects of human nature and divine response, serving as a conduit for teaching lessons on repentance, forgiveness, and redemption. The prodigal son represents the wayward individual who, led astray by desires for autonomy and indulgence, experiences fall and redemption. His journey from squandering his inheritance to returning home symbolizes the potential for personal transformation and the power of repentance. The father, emblematic of unconditional love and forgiveness, signifies divine grace and the welcoming embrace of forgiveness regardless of past transgressions. The elder brother embodies the struggle with self-righteousness and resentment, reflecting the challenge of accepting grace and forgiveness extended to others. This point is significant because it lays the foundation for understanding the parable's broader moral teachings. The interactions and relationships between these characters allow for a deeper exploration of themes such as mercy, justice, and the human condition. The diverse roles encourage readers to examine their behavior and attitude toward others and divine mercy. In the real world, a modern-day application can be observed in support groups or counseling sessions where individuals seek redemption and forgiveness after personal failings. Another example is in organizational leadership, where leaders may adopt the father's role in offering second chances to employees who err, fostering a culture of growth and understanding. Supporters of the traditional interpretation argue that these roles effectively mirror fundamental truths about human nature and divine love, thereby promoting spiritual growth and moral clarity. However, some contemporary critics challenge this view, arguing that the parable may enforce cultural stereotypes or overlook the unjust aspects of the prodigal son's actions. They suggest alternative readings that focus on social justice or familial tensions. Understanding these characters and their dynamics is essential as it influences our interpretation of forgiveness and redemption. It connects to broader themes in the parable, sparking dialogue on how these lessons apply in contemporary contexts, whether religious, cultural, or personal. By analyzing these roles, we gain insights into managing personal relationships and understanding the complexity of human behavior in light of divine compassion. The concept of unconditional love and forgiveness, as embodied in the parable of the prodigal son, encapsulates a powerful narrative of redemption and acceptance. In this story, a father lovingly welcomes back his wayward son, who squanders his inheritance but returns home in repentance. This act reflects the profound notion that love and forgiveness can transcend mistakes and poor choices. At its core, unconditional love does not hinge on the receiver's actions, but remains steadfast regardless of circumstances, highlighting the significance of forgiveness in personal and communal relationships. The importance of this concept within the broader theme of the parable is its demonstration of compassion's transformative power. It challenges individuals to reassess judgments and embrace others despite their flaws. In real-world applications, this lesson finds relevance across various dimensions. Consider the dynamics within family structures. Parents exhibiting steadfast love toward children navigating personal challenges, or teenagers whose rebellious phases cause friction. This unwavering support encourages emotional healing and strengthens familial bonds. Moreover, in leadership or managerial scenarios, embracing forgiveness over punitive measures fosters a workplace culture of growth and collaboration, leading to enhanced morale and productivity. Many support the notion of unconditional love as it promotes a healthier, more resilient society where individuals feel valued beyond their shortcomings. Proponents argue that forgiveness mitigates resentment and facilitates personal growth, allowing relationships to evolve and flourish. However, challenges arise when unconditional love and forgiveness may seemingly excuse harmful behavior, potentially enabling repetition of negative actions. Critics assert that certain actions warrant accountability rather than immediate forgiveness to prevent harmful cycles. Additionally, societal norms often celebrate merit-based recognition, where forgiveness might be perceived as unjustly rewarding failure or wrongdoing. This concept intricately connects with other themes from the Prodigal Son, such as repentance and the realization of personal shortcomings. The Prodigal Son's journey to self-awareness is crucial as it sets the stage for his return and acceptance. The father's forgiveness becomes a catalyst for transformation, prompting the audience to reflect on their capacity for forgiveness and acceptance. Ultimately, this narrative nudges individuals toward personal introspection, urging them to cultivate empathy and extend grace, weaving a richer tapestry of human connection and understanding. In a world yearning for healing and unity, the lessons of unconditional love and forgiveness remain timeless and profoundly resonant.